In this tutorial, I would like to show, like especially the database, how we enter the data for building full stack web applications from using Vue.js and Node.js servers, and also this time we will use the database and will show you how we can store the data and we can retrieve the data from the database from our applications. So in this tutorial, I will show how I will build applications. The database is I will use MySQL database to store the data and retrieve the data. So firstly, we will install. If you do not have installed MySQL database local, and you can download and install. This is I will show you the links. Yeah, installer MySQL installers, and we can install from our machine. This is official websites you can download here, and then you install in your computer, right? And when you did installations, I would like to suggest to install. For example, if you don't know what you have to install, so you should install MySQL server and MySQL Workbench because they have a lot of service. You can choose which service you want to install. So we should install MySQL servers and MySQL Workbench. Workbench is like a UI. We can this is MySQL Workbench, and this one is we can see visual and run our query to create the database and tables or search or anything. We can use this workbench for our database, and we use the query SQL. So you have to install this workbench and also MySQL server. So this is for how installation first. You try to install first from this website, and then you will provide your passwords. And okay, after you install, you open MySQL Workbench, right? And the first time you have to connect, and you will see the box to connect. So you connect the server, and when you connect, you have to put your passwords. When you install the MySQL, this one. So when you connect, you have to provide the passwords that you created when you installed, and then you enter password. So after that we will create our own database. In that database we will create tables. For example, here in these applications I will show you how for tracking applications for career work tracking. So we will have a database tracking, and we will create a table in this database tracking logs, like for example tracking status, like a DHL. Last time I showed you the DHL API status. So if we use external API, we don't need to build this one. But in this one, if we want to build our own servers, database servers, and to build our application, so this is suitable. So we will create the tracking logs table in this database. And how we create is you can run this query. This is create database keyword, and this is database name. So when you open your MySQL Workbench, right, and then go to new query tag. Okay, here you got new query tag, and you run this query. I already ran, so I will not run it, and you run query. This is to run the query. So after you run this, you already created table and database. So after that, we need to verify our table is already there or not. So if you want to verify, go to this is administration, this schema tab. You press this refresh button here. This is our database and our table. We have one table. This table we have column here. We have ID column, tracking numbers, data, location, update app, and create app. So after we create that database and table, so we can start building our applications. What applications? We already check, and so we start building our application using Vue.js, right? And we will build the server with Node.js. Okay, so what should we do? So firstly, we will create a backend server first. I think in my last video, I already explained how to set up this server, right? So we have Node.js server. You create a JS file, JavaScript file, and I will test in these servers for our database connection. So to connect our database, first you need to install. So you need to install MySQL driver in our application. You run this command, right, and then install. Okay, and then install. We run this command to install the driver, MySQL driver. Okay, after we install, and then we have to connect our database confidentials parameter. This is very important. So we will create a new file, JS file, to store the database credential like password, database host, username, password, database name. So we will create a new JavaScript file to store this variable. I will try to create a new one. This one, previous one. Okay, we will create a new file as I see. MyDB.js. And we will store the database credentials in this folder, in this JavaScript file. Just copy this and you this one because this is to connect the database. And here you have to put your password, right? Your localhost. This is localhost username root, and this is MySQL database passwords. So I will, yeah, you create this one, right? Okay, I will show this is my testing password. And also after that, in our server.js file, we will write two APIs, right? The first one is we will put the data in the database from the front end, and this is text insert. We will insert the data in the database, insert into on our application. This is backend server. And also the second one is we will have a function to track by importing the tracking number. So we have two API. Post method. The method will enter the data in the database from our applications, and this one is to track based on the tracking number. So we have two simple API in our server, and that's it. Server part is very simple. And this one. So I will show you for creating a new server in case if you missed my previous video. This is my previous server, so I will create a new server file as see um, tracking server. I will create the Node.js server, tracking server. Okay. So in this server, we will use I will show you the previous code. We use Express.js file, Express servers, and calls. And this one I already mentioned in previous video. So let's text this, the new one, to see clearly. So we use Express, calls, and yeah, what we add it. This is the new one to connect the database. Here our database confidential is here mydb.js. So you have to connect here mydb here. So in this one call connect the database connections and DB. So this is the previous DHL. Okay. And here we have to adopt post method, and we have get method. Post method is to enter the data in the database from our application, and we use insert query here. Insert into this is table name. We will enter tracking numbers, data, locations, and update it. This variable will come from front end part, right? You already know how we connect. And the second method is get method to get the data from the database. So we will search from database here. Okay, we have two methods in our Node.js servers. So this is our backend servers. And okay, I have Vue components already created here. Yeah, this is Vue component to connect this backend server. This one database, we already connect the MySQL database connections, and we have two API, text insert data. We will enter the data here by using this query insert into database table name, and select star. This is to retrieve the data from our database. Okay, that's it. And also this is our front end part, UI part. We will Vue component. Vue component we have normally three template and script. This is the variable to import, and this one method. We will have fetch logs methods and submit data. We have two functions. Okay, for these applications, and this is CSS part design. Because this is the Vue template is very nice. So this is the file. We have import. We will provide import tracking number. We will enter the database like tracking numbers, data, location, update. After inserting data, and we will look for this data, fetch tracking logs, tracking number, location, update. And this tracking log is this function. You go here, tracking log and tracking history. Okay. So we have two functions and these two API. Okay, let us run. So if you run, we will run the server first. This is the backend server, right? So if you want to run the backend server, no command src. This is server part. Our server name is tracking server. Oh, I think I forgot to put my database password. Yeah, I will enter my password, for example. Okay, we try to connect the database with, I, yeah, I will put my database password. Okay, the server is running. Yeah, our backend server is running on localhost 3000. And then we have to run our front end part. So I will show you how we run. I will stop npm run start. Hey, sorry, I have wrong command. Okay, our front end part we can run here. We already ran and we'll turn on. This one we will check here. This is our UI part database tutorial poster, and we will enter the data first and then we will check. Okay, let's try to put a new tracking number 0002222 and status, deliver and location. Okay, and then we will enter the day, insert data. Okay, this one you already insert one. I did number two. The first one I entered the number one record. Okay, if you want to fetch, just click. Here we can fetch because this one enter the database and this one fetch from our database. So later we can filter like tracking number. This one we do not have any filter yet. We query all the data from our database. This one the previous data one. Okay, this is how our web applications, Vue.js front end, and this one, Node.js server backend, Node.js backend server, and connect database to and enter the data with our own database, and then we query the data from the database. So let's start from table name, and here we use Express. Okay. And this one is to connect. This is the database credential. You will create this file, and this file will connect here.